Dear students, today we are going to study about life process part 2. There are different kind of life process important in every living organism. Among them, reproduction is most important life process. Why reproduction is most important life process? Because to sustaining the living organism or those living organisms are present in this world should not disappear. That's why to continuity life existence, to continuity of life existence, reproduction is necessary. Reproduction is necessary. Means now race of human being is going on from last 7 crore years ago. Similar way it should be continued generation after generation, period after period in future, and that's why reproduction is necessary. So then reproduction is of two types. What are the two types of reproductions? One is their sexual reproduction. And second one is asexual reproduction. Actually, what is the definition of reproduction? The definition of reproduction is that increasing number of living organism by itself as its own kind is called reproduction. What I told, increasing number of living organism by itself means I will reproduce number of living organisms like myself. That is called a reproduction. So increasing number of living organism as its own kind. Now then this reproduction is done by living organism by two ways: sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. First, we have to differentiate between sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Male and female gametes are required. In sexual reproduction, sperm cell from male and egg cell from female should come together, unite, zygote should form, and then new baby, means living organism, can give birth to new young one. Here, what about asexual reproduction? No gametes required. Means your individual single organism is sufficient. Then what is the second difference? That here are number of variations found. Found in sexual reproduction, no variation in asexual reproduction. Then in sexual reproduction there is limit to produce young ones. Here in asexual reproduction, no limit to produce young ones. Okay. Now here male and female should come together. Male and female should come together. Here no need. Means these are the differences between sexual and asexual reproduction. Where is sexual reproduction take place? sexual reproduction is taken place in multicellular organisms. And where is a sexual reproduction take place? A sexual reproduction take place in unicellular organism. Unicellular organism means there are 4 points mentioned by me: 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. These 5 points are sufficient to write the answer if there is a question that differentiate between sexual and asexual reproduction. Now we are going to study about asexual reproduction in simple unicellular organisms. First I will teach you about asexual reproduction in unicellular organisms. Unicellular living organisms reproduces by asexual method. Asexual reproduction. Where is the reproduction? Asexual reproduction taken place? It takes place in unicellular living organism. What are the types of unicellular what are the types of asexual reproduction in unisexual? First one is there binary fission. Binary fission. This binary fission has again 2 types. One is there longitudinal and second one is there transverse. Okay, what I told, asexual reproduction has 3 types. First part is binary fission, here it is longitudinal and here it is transverse binary fission. The second type is there that multiple reproduction, multiple asexual reproduction, and third one is there that is budding. Third one is budding. So we will see these three kind of asexual reproduction with example. Now binary fission means what? Where is binary fission taken place? Mostly in protozoan animal or protista. Protozoa means what? Proto means first. Proto means first, zoa means animal. So those animals born first time in the world, those animals born first time in the world, they are called protozoa. So what are the examples of the protozoa? Amoeba, then paramecium, euglena, plasmodium. These are the examples of the protozoan animal. So we will take example of the amoeba for binary fission. Binary fission means what happens, that body is divided into 2 equal parts. For example, there is no fixed shape to the amoeba. Amoeba has no regular fixed shape. Its shape is irregular, means it changes again and again. Then in case of this fully matured amoeba, this is nucleus and rest of the organelles are present inside this cell. This amoeba is unicellular. It locomotes with the help of finger-like pseudopodia. Then these pseudopodia means when amoeba is fully matured, it stops the growth of or it controls the activities of pseudopodia. It controls the activities of pseudopodia. Then this fully matured amoeba starts to constrict. It can constrict by both way, and when it starts to constrict, then simultaneously its nucleus is also divided into 2 equal parts, and at last then this constriction increases and finally 2 daughter amoeba are formed. That is called a binary fission. That is called a binary fission. What happened here? The constriction which is started, that is horizontal to earth. This constriction is in the horizontal way, and from one parent cell, from one parent amoeba, two daughter amoebas are formed. This is called a binary fission. One more time I am going to tell you that fully grown amoeba stops the activities or the growth of the pseudopodia is stopped. Then from somewhere it starts to constrict. Constriction is started, and however constriction develops, then cytoplasm, nuclei and rest of the parts are separated, and finally two daughter nuclei are separated from each other. Such a fission, such a binary fission is called a longitudinal binary fission. Then in case of we will check it that in case of transverse binary fission, we will take example of euglena. In case of euglena, what happens that, what is the shape of euglena? The shape of euglena is like this. Okay. Then vertically constriction, fully matured euglena starts to construct vertically, and however constriction increases from both ways, then what happens that at last when it starts to separate, then one flagella here, one flagella there, whole body part is also divided into two different regions, and by this way transverse means vertically it starts to constrict, and vertically two different parts of euglena are formed. That is called transverse binary fission. Means binary fission is a sexual kind of reproduction take place in unicellular living organism, that is also mostly in protozoa, and in longitudinal binary fission in amoeba is longitudinal, and in euglena it is transverse binary fission. Now we are going to study about another method, that is multiple fission. Means whenever there is no favorable condition, if there is a favorable condition, you can do, any living organism can do any kind of activity as he likes. And if there is no favorable condition, what happens? Then we do not do any activity, we stops our activity. Similar way, what happens that in case of the amoeba, when there is no favorable condition, then amoeba creates one specific kind of hard layer around its body. Amoeba creates a specific kind of hard layer around its body, and inside means this hard coating is formed around its body, that is called a cyst. Means amoeba goes in the cyst condition, and internally anyhow way it starts to divide and redivide, and at a time number of daughter amoebas are formed, and when he feels that now there is a favorable condition, then these outermost hard cyst bursts, and number of all these living organisms, means number of amoebas comes out. That is called multiple sexual reproduction. Once again repeating, when there is no favorable condition, amoeba creates one specific hard layer around its body. It goes in the cyst form, and inside the cyst it divides and redivides, and number of means multiple amoebas are formed. When he feels that there is a favorable condition, then that cyst bursts and all the amoebas come out. That is called multiple reproduction. Now we are studying about the budding. In case of the yeast cell, in case of the yeast, its example is yeast. Yeast belongs to fungi. Yeast belongs to fungi. Then in case of this yeast cell, what happens that this is a fully matured yeast cell. Then on this fully matured yeast cell, a small outgrowth comes out, and this outgrowth increases. However, this outgrowth increases, then the cytoplasm, nuclei, etc. also start to divide. Means this nucleus, one more nucleus is get created, comes into this bud, and then constriction increases, and at last the two yeast cells, two daughter cells are separated. This is called budding. By this way, asexual reproduction takes place in unicellular living organisms. Now we are going to study asexual reproduction in multicellular living organisms. Multicellular asexual reproduction only. Then how it takes place in multicellular living organisms, that we will see. There are also some parts. One is called fragmentation. Fragmentation. Second one is there regeneration. Regeneration. And third one is there, again we are going in budding. We will take different examples, and by different examples, actually there are number of types in the multicellular. Please look here one more time. That first one is there fragmentation. Then second one is there regeneration. Third one is there budding. And fourth one is there vegetative reproduction. Now we will study about reproduction in multicellular living organisms. You are knowing that when we look the stagnant water or in the well, number of times we see a greenish layer. The greenish layer which is floating on the water, it belongs to the algae, and the kind of algae is Spirogyra. Then this Spirogyra is very long or elongated rectangular shaped plant which is multicellular, which has spiral shaped chloroplast. Therefore it is called a Spirogyra. There is a chloroplast nucleus found in it. Chloroplast, nucleus, cytoplasm, each and everything, whatever the organelles are there, these all organelles of the cell are found in every cell of the long chain of the Spirogyra. Then, when this fully grown Spirogyra lives in the water, sometimes because of the sudden speed, increase in speed of the water current, it breaks into number of pieces. Fragments are formed, when small pieces are formed. It can happen because of the speedy or current of the water, or it can happen by some other activities. But anyhow, when the algae breaks down, then what happens? That every broken part behaves like an individual living organism, and again then it grows itself, and then from one parent cell number of algae are developed. This is called fragmentation. Now we are going to study about the regeneration. You are knowing wall lizard. Then what happens that in case of this wall lizard, it has a tail region. Then if you pressed the tail region of the wall lizard, what happens that this wall lizard gives up, cut itself its tail, and wall lizard escapes to survive its life. Then this broken tail is sheds impulse for 1 or 2 seconds and it stops because life goes from it, because there is no supply of the life substance or there is no supply of the blood, and that's why it dies. But what happens then is, after few days, if you observe to this wall lizard, the cut tail part again regenerates and new tail is developed. Or a simple thing is that when you are falling down, many times skin is bruised out. When skin is bruised, again skin develops or not? Yes, skin is get developed. That is also part of regeneration. So, in case of the living organism, multicellular living organism like planaria. In case of planaria, what happens? That in case of this planaria, actually its shape is like this flat shape. And then in this planaria, this body, if a body is cut from anywhere, if number of pieces are formed, then every cut part develops into planaria and it enjoys its life individually. So, the process in which individual living organism is formed after cutting down from the parent cell, part which cut from the parent cell, and it works like it enjoys its life by fully developing itself and enjoying its life. That is called this kind of reproduction is called regeneration. Now, budding in multicellular living organisms. For example, Hydra. Hydra's example is here given. In case of the Hydra, the shape of Hydra is cylindrical type Hydra, which is attached to the substratum. Here it is a mouth, and this is the body structure. Then this Hydra, what happens that one specific kind of outgrowth comes out. Specific kind of outgrowth comes out, that is called a bud. Then this bud slowly grows, and what happens that remaining parts are also, means nucleus comes, cytoplasm comes, rest other parts are developed, and finally after certain days then constriction starts, and this constriction increases, and then this bud is separated, then parent cell lives individually and animal which is formed means however after falling on the head, bud comes out, means blood is get clotted and swelling comes. So like that we can't say swelling, but it is specific kind of outgrowth. This specific kind of outgrowth is called a bud, and rest of the body parts are developed in the bud, and bud itself separates from the parent cell, and this new young one is enjoying its own life by its own way. That is called budding. So, in case of multicellular living organism, now fragmentation, regeneration, budding, and vegetative reproduction. We will see what is meant by vegetative reproduction. Reproduction takes place by any part of the plant body. Vegetative reproduction takes place in plants. And it takes place by root, it takes place by leaf, it takes place by stem, and even it takes place by eyes. Okay. Eyes or nodes, means it comes in stem only. We will use 3 parts only, because actually reproduction takes place by 3 way only. Now root. You have seen that banana tree. When banana tree is growing, then its roots are get developed under the soil. Then there are number of root nodules found on on this root. Then from this root, new plants are germinating, new plants are arising. This is called reproduction by root. Example is there banana. Even kadi patta. In case of kadi patta happens like that, or even in case of the guava plant also. In case of guava plant also, number of new guava plants are developing from the roots. Now in case of leaf, there is one bryophyllum leaf. The name of the plant is bryophyllum. Then in this bryophyllum leaf, there are number of notches to the edge of the leaf. Then from every notch, there is specific kind of outgrowth take place, and from this specific kind of this notch means mostly it is called a sori, and then from this specific kind of notches new plants is developed. This vegetative reproduction, number of plants are increased through leaf. Now through the stem you are knowing rose plant. We cut the stem of the rose plant, or we are cutting down the, you are knowing that sugar cane. In case of the sugarcane plant, what happens? Here there is one bud to right side, there is one bud to left side, right, left. There are number of buds. Study about spore formation. Spore formation is also one kind of asexual reproduction. It is also taken place in multicellular living organisms. For example, in case of the plant Mucor. In case of this Mucor, what happens? This Mucor is a saprophytic plant. Then this saprophytic plant grows mostly on moist places. If food is prepared, for example, bread, this Mucor grows on bread. Then this bread is remained without eating for 4 days. Then there is a layer, grayish colored layers are formed. This grayish colored layer, to whom you are calling that बुर्शियाले और बुरा गया ऐसे बोला जाता है. That बुरा or burshi means what? That is one kind of plant, that is Mucor, means it belongs to fungi. Then this Mucor belongs to fungi. It grows, develops on the braid. Some of the branches, some of the threads are growing in the air. Those part of the Mucor grows in the air, that is called hyphae. That is called hyphae, means thread-like structure of the Mucor grows erect in the air. That is called hyphae. At the end of the hyphae, spherical bodies are developed, and inside these spherical shaped bodies or oval shaped bodies, there are number of small spear like very small spores. Structure is formed, that is called a spore, and this spherical shaped structure, that is called a sporangium. Then inside the sporangium, mustard seed like very small spores are formed. When these sporangium fully matures, then it bursts, and after bursting, so many thousand spores are get spread in the air, and when these spores are settled down on the moist place or on the decaying part of the any living organism, then again new Mucor grows. This is called spore formation, means sexual reproduction by spore formation. Now we are going to study about sexual reproduction in plants. In the beginning only, we have seen what is required for sexual reproduction. There are two things are required in sexual reproduction. Two individuals are required. One is their male and another one is their female gametes are required. Female gametes and male gametes are the two important organs necessary. Then in case of this plant, how or there is a question can come in exam that describe the sexual structure in plant, or how sexual reproduction describe with neat labeled diagram how sexual reproduction take place in plant. And therefore then that's why I am going to tell you that male gametes and female gametes are produced. These male and female gametes are produced by the process of meiosis. In first life process one I have explained about meiosis and mitosis. So gametes are produced, male gamete, female gamete are produced with the help of meiosis. Now this meiosis is a haploid process. Means what happens that if there are four gametes, then these four gametes are made to half. Means if there are 4 DNA or 4 chromosomes, then 4 chromosomes are converted into 2 nuclei or 2 chromosomes. Means this is called the process in which or in short haploid means what? Haploid means single set of chromosomes. Single set of chromosomes is called haploid gametes. So haploid gametes are produced by the process of meiosis. Now we will study sexual reproduction in plants. How sexual reproduction takes place? For the sexual reproduction in plants, there is need of male flower and female flower. What are the sexual gametes? What are the sex gametes which are produced by meiosis? One is the male gamete. Who is the male gamete? Male gamete means pollen grains. Pollen grains. And second one is the eggs. Female gamete. Female gamete. Female gamete means egg cell or ovaries. Okay, here ovaries means egg cell is produced. So male gamete, pollen grain, female gamete, egg cell. Now what happens that we will study here. There are two kind of male female means there are two kind of flowers. Two types of flowers. Two types of flowers. First flower is male flower. This male flower produces male gamete, and second one is the female flower. This female flower produces female gamete. Then many times it is happening that means individual gametes are produced in a flower of different individual plant, and but that is called a unisexual flower. Unisexual flower means what? If there is a branch of this tree, then flowers are get developed here, flower is get developed here, then this is might be male and this is might be suppose female. Means the plant on which, what I am going to tell you, the plant on which male and female flowers are produced is called a bisexual plant. Is called a bisexual plant. And the plant in which flower, either male or female, is produced, is called unisexual flower. And bisexual plant means what happens that both male and female flowers are producing on a same plant, on a same branch. That is called a bisexual. So here we will study sexual reproduction system in plant with the help of one of the bisexual plant. The name of that bisexual plant is hibiscus flower. Which flower? Hibiscus. Hibiscus is a bisexual flowering plant. At the bottom, I am going to draw the diagram of flower bisexual plant. We will see here. Now, this is bisexual flowering plant. I said means this hibiscus has one specialty that in a same flower, the flower in which both sex organs are present in same flower is called bisexual flower. Do you understand what I said? The flower in which both sex organs means sperm cell means pollen grain and ovaries lie in a same flower. Its example is that hibiscus, and that's why it is called a bisexual flower. When it is bisexual flower, we will see its structure. This is a pedicel. This is called a pedicel. Pedicel is what? It is bottom basal disc. Supposed to whorl means supposed to remaining parts. Of flower. Then here, from this pedicel, now here there is one oval shaped structure. There is one oval egg shaped structure which contains number of small spherical or rounded bodies. This is called ovary. This is called ovary, or this is called carpel. This egg shaped or oval shaped structure is called a carpel, and inside there are small body. The small rounded body is called a ovary. Means these are egg cell which contain egg cell. Okay, instead of ovary I will say egg cell. Now there are number of egg cells are found. From this, now one elongated cylindrical shaped hollow tube grows. This is called a style. Or it is called a gynoecium. Then this is hibiscus. Then here there are number of pollen grains, pollen sacs are growing up. Pollen sacs are developed. These pollen sacs, this is pollen sac, and this pollen sac contains pollen grains. These are, in case of this hibiscus flower, the color of this pollen sac is yellow color. It is in yellow color. Then at the tip end of this style or gynoecium, there are 5 blackish colored outgrowths. these 5 blackish colored outgrowths is called stigma. In certain flower, these number found 5 to 10, somewhere found 7. In this hibiscus flower, it founds 5. So here at the basal disc, this is leaf-like structure, small leaf-like structure. These are 5. This is called epicalyx. This is called epicalyx. This when bird is developing, that time that epicalyx is developing, is protecting to the inner part of the bird. Now then, here this epicalyx, and from this place there is a calyx. Here are also another part that is called calyx. How is calyx? That I will tell you. There are 5 in number. These are 5 in number, and then this is called corolla. Corolla has attractive color. Corolla has attractive color. Why flowers have attractive color, or why corollas are attractive color? Its reason is that for the fertilization, it needs the insects, and to attract the insects, flowers have smell, fragrance, or flowers have attractive color. Because of attractive color, insects are attracted towards the flower. That insects when are sitting. Now that we will see afterwards. Now we have seen this is the basal disc, that is called a pedicel, or it is called a stalk also. Now here epicalyx, small leaf-like structure, that is called epicalyx. Then afterwards there is a calyx. The calyx are also 5 in number, and then these 5 parts are called corolla. Corolla have attractive color. And then this is the structure of this hibiscus flower. Now if you study about here the part which I have shown, that is called a pollen sac. So on the pollen sac, to both sides there is such a kind of oval shaped structure is developed, and inside this oval shaped structure, this is called a pollen sac, and inside this pollen sac there are small rounded bodies are developed. These are called pollen grains. These pollen grains means these stamen, the part which connect to the pollen sac, the small thin cylindrical type part which connect to the pollen sac, that is called stamens. Then this stamen connects to the pollen sac, and inside the pollen sac there are pollen grains are growing. Then these pollen grains means male gametes. These are called male gametes. Now at the end of these carpel or gynoecium, there are 5 blackish colored, somewhat rounded portion, that is called a stigma. This stigma is very sticky. This stigma is sticky. Why stigma has a sticky? Why stigmas are sticky? Or why specific kind of secretion take place at the tip of the stigma? Its reason is that when pollen grain falls on it, pollen grain is get deposited by different way. What is meant by pollination? First we have to see pollination. Now we are going to study about sexual reproduction, that is fertilization. So then these pollen grains are bursting. When this pollen sac is fully matured, it bursts, and then when there is a insect comes, like butterfly, or there are a number of insects. When that insects are always in the search of the honey, and therefore these insects are sitting on the flower. When the insect sits on the flower, then if there is this pollen sac after maturation, if it has broken, if it has bursted, the number of small pollen grains are sticked to the leg of the insect. Pollen pollen grains are sticked to the leg of the insect. Then when that butterfly or insect is sitting in different places, sometimes it sits on the stigma also. When same butterfly who sat on the flower and because of sitting the pollen grains are sticked to the leg, and when it sits on the stigma at the tip of the flower, then that pollen grains which are sticked to the leg of the insect, they are get deposited on the stigma. And as stigma is sticky, it catches to the pollen grain, and thus then transformation of pollen grain from pollen sac to stigma, pollination or transformation of pollen grains from pollen sac to stigma is called pollination. Number of times cell pollination takes place, or there are pollinating agents. Who are pollinating agents? First one is that insect is a pollinating agent. Wind, air, these are the pollinating agents. And sometimes then cell pollination is also, cell pollination means mostly through wind or air or water. Both are same, but insect, wind and water, these are pollinating agents, and through pollinating agents, journey of pollen grain from pollen sac to stigma of same flower or from one flower to another flower, means mostly from male flower to female flower through pollinating agent is called pollination. Now what happens, then we will study. I will erase this diagram, and again I am going to draw the same diagram, and I am going to explain sexual reproduction. Now here is a basal disc, then this is a ovary. Now from this ovary, style or gynoecium, this is style or called gynoecium, and here there are 5 stigmas. Then when pollen grain falls on the stigma, then that pollen grain is directed towards the egg cell, towards the ovary. Means that one of the pollen grain, only one pollen grain enters through this style, and it goes towards it comes towards the egg cell, and at last it enters into this ovary. In the egg, means in the ovary there are number of egg cells. Then the pollen grain which came inside this ovary, it fertilizes, means it fuse together one of the ovary, means egg cell. There is a union of egg cell and pollen grain take place. It is called fertilization. And when means from stigma pollen grain, it comes and enters into the ovary. It makes union with egg cell and fertilize. This process is called fertilization. From fertilization, zygote is formed, and from zygote, embryo is formed. This embryo divides, and its growth takes place. Then fruits are developed inside the fruit. Seeds are mature. Then it bursts itself. And again seeds are get thrown in the environment. And when seed falls in a suitable place, new plant germinate. By this way, here sexual reproduction implant is get completed. Dear students, you should have to read it. It is very, very simple. Read two times before reading. Observe the diagram and then start to read it. You will understand. If you do not understand, I have given my phone number. You can contact me for more details. You contact me on that. Don't forget to subscribe the channel. Don't forget to write your comments. You should write, send your comments and share your likes. Thanks for watching the video.